When the NATO Training Mission-Afghanistan comes into play, what happens to the Combined Security Transition Command Afghanistan?
Well, the CSTC Alpha C sticker, the Combined Security Transition Command Afghanistan, will remain. It will amalgamate with the NATO Training Mission Afghanistan, and the commander will become commander of both. I mean, that's the simple answer, but perhaps I can enlarge on that a little bit. Up till now, it has essentially been a United States only task to build the Army and the Army Air Corps here in Afghanistan. And C-Sticker as an organisation, and indeed the police, which of course is a role that C-Sticker didn't have initially, but has picked up later because nobody else was really doing it in the quantity that was required. So C-Sticker has been doing this under American leadership with mainly Americans. There have been other nations. There's been quite a lot of British, my own nation, but there's Germans, French. There's a variety of nations in there. But the bulk of the people, and certainly the bulk of the funding, over 90%, has been American. NATO, at its 60th anniversary summit earlier this year in April in Strasbourg and Kale, agreed to set up a NATO training mission Afghanistan, and decided that it would amalgamate initially with C-Sticker under a single commander, and that would always be an American. And that is indeed going to be the case. Other NATO nations, other than the United States, are making increasingly large contributions. But also what it does enable us to do is, as well as C-Sticker, there have been a number of smaller but still very significant national training contributions to this country. The Germans have been running a logistics school and I think a signal school, and there are other examples of that are small in comparison to the overall effort, but a very significant niche contribution. What NTMA C-Sticker is going to do is to allow us to corral all these under one organisation. So it'll continue to exist, but I hope it will become more powerful and better resourced.
ISAF Joint Command is standing up this month. How will this stand-up change the role of ISAF HQ? What will be the primary focus of the IJC?
The decision was made about 3 months ago that there was a requirement to have 2 headquarters here in Kabul. And this actually in some ways mirrors the situation and the best practice that there was in Baghdad, where there was a force headquarters at 4-star level and then an operational tactical level headquarters at 3-star level. And that worked very well. Now, the situation is very different here. That wasn't a NATO operation. It was primarily an American-led operation with a coalition of willing nations in support. So it's very different. But what is the same is the fact that the span of command for a single commander, right from the sort of high politics of dealing with President Karzai and his ministers, right down to the minor tactics of what's going on in the provinces and the regions of this country, is huge. And it made no sense as this became more complex and as violence levels increased this year. It made no sense for one headquarters to try to do that whole task. So what we've done is we've split the responsibilities, and the Intermediate Joint Command, which as you know is being set up at the northern side of Kabul International Airport and goes live this week, is going to deal with the regional commands, the 5 regional commands, and it's going to be dealing with the day-to-day fight, but not just the fight, also the stability and work and the development work and the governance development work. But it's going to be dealing predominantly downwards. This headquarters, which will sit on top of it, is going to deal outwards and upwards, so it provides the interface with the rest of the international community, with the United Nations Assistance Mission here in Afghanistan, with the government of Afghanistan, from the president and all his ministers downwards, and with all those other members of the international community that are here either individually or collectively in various groupings. And it will also deal, of course, up and out to NATO in Europe and to CENTCOM and the United States, but also back to individual contributing nations. So it shouldn't, to an outsider looking in, there shouldn't be any massive obvious change. We should become more efficient and more capable as a result of this increase of this headquarters, because it will enable us to look more effectively in both directions at once, and give a better service in both directions.
Sir, is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true to say we are at a point in the history of this operation, the history of this nation, where, as the commander in his assessment said, the situation is serious. Success is not guaranteed, but he firmly believes, and all who work for him believe, that we can achieve success in this operation if we tackle things in a different way, and that has already started, with a different attitude, and that too has already started, and if we continue to have a strong and steadfast international coalition of 42 nations contributing military forces, and many more than that contributing aid and assistance in other ways, I'm absolutely convinced that this operation can succeed. It will take some time, there's no doubt. This country has been devastated by war for the last 30 plus years, and you can't turn around that situation quickly. But nevertheless, I think we now fully understand the problem. I think we have a good plan. We're heading towards an achievable solution, which, albeit it will take time, it will certainly be worth it for the stability of this region at the end of the day.